Stoicism, an ancient philosophy forged in the crucible of adversity, offers a timeless framework for navigating life's inevitable uncertainties. Rooted in the teachings of great thinkers such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what lies within our control and what is not. For the Stoics, the only true domain of control is the self, our thoughts, judgments, and actions. Everything else, other people's behavior, external events, and circumstances, remains beyond our influence. Therefore, to cultivate a tranquil mind, one must focus on internal mastery while accepting external events with a sense of calm detachment. Central to Stoicism is the pursuit of ataraxia, a state of inner peace free from the turbulence of destructive emotions. The Stoic path is not about emotional suppression but about fostering a deep understanding of emotions, recognizing their origins, questioning their validity, and ensuring they do not dictate our actions. Anger, fear, envy, and lust, according to the Stoics, arise not from external causes but from irrational beliefs about what constitutes good or bad in life. By refining these beliefs, one can rise above emotional disturbances and maintain clarity of thought, even in the most trying of circumstances. In the realm of human relationships, particularly those with the opposite sex, Stoicism advises a man to approach with kindness, respect, and fairness while exercising discernment and self-control. The Stoic ideal of self-mastery requires a man to be mindful not only of how he acts but also of what he chooses to reveal. This does not imply dishonesty or cold detachment, but instead highlights the value of discretion, understanding when to speak and when to remain silent, what to share and what to keep private. In this light, the Stoic man must carefully guard certain aspects of himself, not to conceal weakness, but to cultivate strength. In this exploration, we delve into 8 key aspects of a man's inner life that, according to Stoic wisdom, should be shielded from the gaze of others, especially women. These aspects, when kept private, serve as pillars of personal integrity, self-reliance, and resilience. Far from creating distance in relationships, they foster genuine respect and deeper connections, allowing a man to reveal his true self not through constant self-exposure, but through the quiet demonstration of virtue. The Stoic journey, after all, is one of continuous self-improvement, where every challenge, including those posed by intimate relationships, becomes an opportunity to refine the art of living with wisdom, strength, and purpose. This is not merely a guide for romantic relations. It is a call to cultivate a disciplined life marked by thoughtful reflection, purposeful action, and unwavering commitment to personal growth. The Stoic man does not seek approval from others, nor does he define himself through their perceptions. Instead, he anchors his sense of self in his adherence to timeless principles, revealing the depth of his character through actions rather than words. As we proceed, remember that this philosophy, though demanding, offers profound rewards for those who embrace it. It is a path not for the faint-hearted, but for those who seek to rise above fleeting emotions and transient pleasures, striving instead for a life of lasting virtue and meaning. Would you like me to continue developing the other sections in this tone and depth, or do you need further refinement on this part? 1. His weaknesses. In Stoicism, the measure of a man is not the absence of weakness, but the manner in which he confronts it. Life's trials are inevitable, and every individual, regardless of strength or wisdom, will face moments of vulnerability. However, the Stoic man understands that openly displaying weakness, especially in relationships, undermines his role as a source of stability and strength. To reveal one's weaknesses indiscriminately is to invite unnecessary judgment, misunderstanding, and, at times, exploitation. Therefore, the Stoic philosophy advocates for an inner resolve that quietly endures life's hardships without seeking external validation or sympathy. The Stoic man rises above the natural human inclination to lament his struggles or seek comfort in the acknowledgement of his suffering. Instead, he views his weaknesses as raw material for self-transformation. He embraces them as opportunities for growth, understanding that personal development stems not from the absence of flaws, but from the relentless pursuit of improvement. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most revered figures, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This teaching reflects the core Stoic belief that strength is cultivated internally through one's attitude and response to adversity. Importantly, Stoicism does not demand that a man suppress or deny his emotions. Rather, it calls for the mastery of emotions, recognizing them, understanding their nature, and ensuring they do not control one's actions. The Stoic man acknowledges his pain and fears, but does so privately, allowing these experiences to forge a deeper inner fortitude. By refraining from exposing his vulnerabilities, he protects both his dignity and his sense of self-worth, preserving the stability of his relationships and his role as a dependable figure. Furthermore, this discretion is not an act of deception. It is a demonstration of self-respect and discipline. In a world where emotional exposure is often mistaken for strength, the Stoic man takes a different path, one of quiet resilience. He knows that true strength lies in enduring hardships with grace and composure. He does not allow temporary difficulties to shake his confidence or dictate his behavior. Instead, he approaches his weaknesses with a calm and reflective mind, turning every setback into a lesson and every flaw into a stepping stone toward greater personal mastery. Ultimately, hiding one's weaknesses does not equate to denying their existence. It is about acknowledging them internally and using them as fuel for self-improvement. The Stoic man understands that true respect, from others and from oneself, is earned not by exposing every vulnerability, but by demonstrating the ability to navigate life's trials with unwavering resolve. He recognizes that strength, much like wisdom, is cultivated in silence and shown through action. By mastering his weaknesses and choosing when, if ever, to reveal them, he embodies the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency and inner fortitude, standing as a beacon of resilience in an ever-changing world. 2. His mistakes. For the Stoic man, mistakes are not failures to be ashamed of, but essential components of growth. Stoicism teaches that errors, when approached with humility and introspection, serve as powerful lessons on the path to wisdom. Every misstep, no matter how small, offers an opportunity to refine one's character and sharpen one's judgment. However, sharing one's mistakes indiscriminately, especially in intimate relationships, risks undermining the respect and trust one has built. It is not about concealing imperfection, but about understanding that the way one handles mistakes is a deeply personal process, one that should be guided by internal reflection rather than external validation. A Stoic man does not seek pity or forgiveness through the mere confession of his errors. Instead, he approaches mistakes with a calm and deliberate mind, focusing on learning rather than lamenting. He acknowledges his responsibility, accepts the consequences, and directs his energy toward correcting his path. This mindset ensures that mistakes do not become burdens that erode his confidence, but stepping stones that elevate his understanding of himself and the world. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, reminds us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle underscores the Stoic approach to mistakes. It is not the error itself that defines a man, but his response to it. Moreover, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining one's dignity and composure in the face of errors. To a Stoic, admitting a mistake to oneself is a crucial step towards self-improvement, but publicizing every flaw serves no constructive purpose. Sharing mistakes without discernment can project an image of carelessness or weakness, particularly when the audience may not fully understand the intent behind the admission. The Stoic man, therefore, exercises discretion, choosing carefully when and how to share his errors, ensuring that such revelations serve a purpose beyond mere expression. This does not mean the Stoic man avoids accountability, quite the opposite. He takes full ownership of his actions, refusing to blame others or external circumstances for his misjudgments. However, he understands that true accountability begins with an internal dialogue. He analyzes his mistakes with a rational mind, seeking clarity on the causes and implications, and works diligently to prevent their recurrence. By internalizing this process, he cultivates a form of self-trust, knowing that he is capable of learning and evolving without relying on external affirmation. Ultimately, the Stoic man regards mistakes as inevitable aspects of the human experience, yet he refuses to let them define him. He transforms errors into tools for personal growth, embodying resilience and wisdom in the way he navigates his imperfections. By refraining from unnecessary disclosures of his mistakes, he protects his integrity and focuses on what truly matters, becoming a better version of himself. His approach reflects a profound commitment to self-mastery, rooted in the belief that life's greatest teacher is not success but the lessons learned through failure. Through this disciplined mindset, the Stoic man not only gains wisdom but also commands respect, living as an example of thoughtful, purposeful self-improvement. 3. His dreams. In the Stoic worldview, dreams and aspirations are deeply personal pursuits that require careful contemplation, patience, and unwavering focus. Unlike fleeting desires driven by vanity or the need for external approval, a Stoic man's dreams are shaped by his values and grounded in reality. He understands that true fulfillment does not come from boasting about future ambitions, but from the disciplined effort required to bring those aspirations to fruition. In this sense, the Stoic man is cautious when sharing his dreams, recognizing that premature disclosure can dilute his focus, invite unnecessary scrutiny, and even foster a reliance on external validation. Stoicism teaches that dreams, like any endeavor worth pursuing, demand self-reliance and steadfast commitment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This insight reflects the Stoic emphasis on action over words. Rather than seeking recognition for what he plans to achieve, the Stoic man quietly dedicates himself to his goals, allowing his actions to speak on his behalf. He knows that the pursuit of dreams is a solitary journey, one that requires internal motivation rather than external encouragement. Furthermore, by keeping his dreams private, the Stoic man guards against the dangers of distraction and idle praise. Publicizing ambitions often leads to unnecessary commentary and expectations, which can cloud one's judgment and weaken resolve. Stoicism warns against such temptations, advocating instead for an inward focus. The Stoic man channels his energy toward tangible progress, understanding that dreams are not meant to be admired but realized through consistent effort. He does not allow himself to be swayed by the opinions of others, knowing that true contentment comes from within, not from external applause. This discretion also reflects a deeper principle of Stoicism, the avoidance of unnecessary attachment. While a Stoic man may be passionate about his goals, he does not allow them to define his identity or dictate his sense of worth. He approaches his dreams with a pragmatic mindset, acknowledging that some outcomes may be beyond his control. By remaining detached from the results, he preserves his peace of mind and ensures that his pursuit remains aligned with his principles rather than being driven by ego or unrealistic expectations. In essence, the Stoic man views dreams not as grand fantasies, but as meaningful objectives that contribute to his personal growth and the well-being of those around him. He does not seek to impress others with lofty ambitions. Instead, he quietly works toward goals that resonate with his inner values. Through this balanced approach, he cultivates a life of purpose, integrity, and inner strength. By hiding his dreams from those who may misunderstand or trivialize them, he protects the sacred nature of his aspirations and remains steadfast in his journey towards self-mastery. In doing so, he exemplifies the Stoic ideal of living deliberately, focused not on external rewards, but on the quiet fulfillment that comes from striving to become the best version of oneself. 4. His feelings. In Stoicism, emotions are not enemies to be suppressed but signals to be understood and mastered. The Stoic man does not seek to rid himself of feelings, for he knows that emotions are an inherent part of the human experience. Instead, he strives to regulate his emotions, ensuring they do not cloud his judgment or control his actions. To the Stoic, emotions such as fear, anger, and sorrow are not inherently destructive. It is our unchecked reactions to these emotions that cause turmoil. Therefore, a Stoic man cultivates emotional intelligence, recognizing his feelings without becoming enslaved by them. The Stoic man approaches his emotions with a sense of mindful detachment. He understands that while feelings can provide valuable insights into his inner state, they are not absolute truths. As Marcus Aurelius noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Guided by this principle, the Stoic man maintains a composed demeanor, carefully choosing how and when to express his emotions. He refrains from indulging in impulsive displays of feelings, particularly in relationships, not because he lacks depth or affection, but because he values reason and clarity above fleeting emotional impulses. Importantly, the Stoic man exercises discretion in sharing his feelings. He recognizes that not every emotion needs to be aired, especially if doing so serves no constructive purpose. In the context of romantic relationships, he does not burden his partner with every transient feeling of frustration or doubt. Instead, he processes these emotions internally, ensuring that his responses are thoughtful and measured. This does not imply emotional coldness. Rather, it reflects a commitment to fostering a stable and harmonious relationship where communication is deliberate and meaningful. This deliberate handling of emotions also stems from the Stoic man's understanding of personal responsibility. He does not view external circumstances or others as the cause of his emotional state. Rather, he takes ownership of how he feels and responds. By doing so, he empowers himself to maintain inner peace regardless of external chaos. This practice allows him to remain a source of strength and stability, both for himself and those around him. Stoicism teaches that while feelings are natural, they should not dictate one's life. The Stoic man knows that succumbing to every emotional wave can lead to irrational decisions and unnecessary suffering. Instead, he seeks to balance emotional depth with rational thought, ensuring that his actions are guided by virtue rather than momentary sentiment. In doing so, he embodies the Stoic ideal of tranquility, a state of inner calm achieved not by denying emotions but by mastering them. Ultimately, the Stoic man's relationship with his emotions is one of thoughtful engagement. He does not deny his feelings, nor does he allow them to rule him. By choosing to share only what is necessary and processing the rest internally, he preserves both his dignity and his peace of mind. Through this practice, he cultivates a life of resilience, self-awareness, and thoughtful action, a life guided by reason, not ruled by emotion. In a world where emotional reactivity often reigns supreme, the Stoic man stands apart, embodying a quiet strength born of discipline and self-mastery. 5. His secrets. In Stoicism, personal secrets are not mere pieces of concealed information but reflections of one's inner world, identity, and dignity. A Stoic man understands that discretion is a virtue, one that protects not only his integrity but also the sanctity of his thoughts and experiences. Secrets, in this sense, represent elements of his private life that are not meant to be shared indiscriminately. To reveal them carelessly is to risk diminishing their value and, more importantly, compromising his self-respect. By guarding his secrets, a Stoic man does not act out of fear or mistrust, but out of a deep understanding that some aspects of life are sacred and meant to be preserved within. The Stoic principle of discretion calls for a mindful approach to sharing personal matters. The Stoic man refrains from divulging his secrets unless doing so serves a higher purpose, whether to offer wisdom, foster trust, or uphold justice. He avoids gossip and idle chatter, knowing that to speak carelessly about oneself or others is to erode one's character. Cicero, a Stoic-influenced philosopher, once said, "Silence is one of the great arts of conversation." This teaching resonates deeply with the Stoic man, who values the power of restraint and the clarity it brings to both speech and thought. Moreover, the Stoic man's approach to secrets reflects his commitment to self-trust. By keeping certain aspects of his life private, he strengthens his inner resolve and cultivates confidence in his ability to navigate life's complexities without seeking constant validation from others. This self-reliance is not an act of isolation, but an affirmation of his independence. He does not need the approval of others to validate his experiences or decisions. Instead, he draws strength from his inner compass, trusting his judgment on what should remain hidden and what may be shared. Respect for boundaries is another cornerstone of the Stoic philosophy on secrets. The Stoic man understands that just as he guards his own inner life, he must also respect the privacy of others. He neither pries into the secrets of those around him, nor exploits the confidences entrusted to him. To betray a secret, whether his own or someone else's, is to act against the Stoic ideals of honor and integrity. Thus, the Stoic man handles secrets with a sense of reverence, recognizing that to protect them is to uphold both personal dignity and mutual respect. Ultimately, the Stoic man's handling of secrets is a testament to his character. He knows that true strength lies not in revealing everything about oneself, but in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. By carefully guarding his secrets, he preserves his inner world from unnecessary exposure and distraction, allowing himself to focus on what truly matters: personal growth, virtue, and wisdom. This practice of discretion fosters a life of clarity, purpose, and integrity, enabling the Stoic man to engage with the world meaningfully while remaining grounded in his own principles. In a society where oversharing is often mistaken for openness, the Stoic man stands firm in his belief that some things are best kept within, not as a form of deception, but as a means of maintaining the purity of his thoughts and the strength of his character. Through this quiet yet profound act of self-discipline, he exemplifies the Stoic ideal of living a life guided by wisdom, respect, and an unwavering commitment to inner mastery. 6. His pains. Pain is an inevitable aspect of life, yet Stoicism offers a profound way to transcend suffering by transforming pain into a source of strength. The Stoic man understands that openly displaying his pain may invite sympathy, but it does little to cultivate resilience. Stoicism teaches that while physical and emotional pain are unavoidable, our response to it is entirely within our control. By maintaining composure in the face of hardship, a Stoic man not only protects his dignity but also fortifies his inner self against life's unpredictable trials. In Stoic thought, pain is not viewed as an enemy to be feared, but as a teacher to be embraced. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This insight reveals that much of human suffering stems from the mind's tendency to magnify discomfort. The Stoic man internalizes this lesson, choosing not to dwell on his pain or amplify it through complaint. Instead, he endures quietly, using each experience of suffering as an opportunity to cultivate patience, fortitude, and wisdom. His silence is not a sign of denial but of mastery, an acknowledgement that pain, like all external circumstances, can be endured without surrendering inner peace. Moreover, the Stoic approach to pain emphasizes personal accountability. The Stoic man does not blame others or external events for his suffering. He understands that while the causes of pain may be beyond his control, his reaction is entirely his own. By taking ownership of his response, he reclaims power over his life, transforming pain from a source of despair into a catalyst for growth. This mindset enables him to remain calm and grounded, even in the most challenging situations. In relationships, the Stoic man exercises discretion in expressing his pain. He does not burden others with his suffering, recognizing that constant lamentation can weaken bonds and erode respect. This does not mean he isolates himself. Rather, he chooses to share his struggles selectively and thoughtfully, ensuring that his disclosures serve a purpose, whether to seek genuine support or offer insight gained through adversity. By doing so, he preserves both his own strength and the stability of his relationships, fostering an environment of mutual respect and trust. The Stoic man's ability to endure pain with grace is not a rejection of emotion, but a testament to his commitment to inner mastery. He refrains from seeking pity or comfort from external sources, relying instead on his inner resilience. This quiet endurance enables him to navigate life's hardships without being consumed by them. As Epictetus wisely observed, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Through the Stoic lens, pain becomes a mirror that reflects one's true character, a test of strength, patience, and virtue. Ultimately, the Stoic man views pain as a transient experience, one that can shape him but never define him. By choosing to endure with dignity and composure, he exemplifies the Stoic ideal of resilience. He understands that while suffering is an inevitable part of life, it need not rob him of his peace or his purpose. Through this disciplined approach to pain, he transforms adversity into an instrument of self-improvement, living a life marked by strength, wisdom, and unwavering resolve. In a world prone to emotional reactivity, the Stoic man stands apart, embodying the quiet power of a mind that remains unshaken, no matter the storm. 7. His pleasures. In Stoicism, pleasure is not inherently condemned, but it is regarded with caution. The Stoic man understands that the pursuit of pleasure, when left unchecked, can lead to indulgence, dependency, and ultimately, the erosion of self-discipline. Unlike fleeting desires that seek instant gratification, Stoic virtue calls for a life grounded in temperance, where pleasures are enjoyed in moderation and never allowed to dictate one's actions. To the Stoic, true freedom lies not in the unrestrained pursuit of enjoyment, but in mastering one's desires and ensuring that pleasure remains a servant, not a master. The Stoic man recognizes that pleasures, whether physical or emotional, are temporary by nature. Marcus Aurelius once observed, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Guided by this principle, the Stoic man does not chase pleasure for its own sake, but instead seeks deeper fulfillment through meaningful pursuits. He indulges in life's pleasures selectively, ensuring they align with his values and do not detract from his greater purpose. This approach enables him to experience joy without becoming enslaved by it, preserving his autonomy and mental clarity. Importantly, Stoicism does not advocate for asceticism or the complete rejection of pleasure. The Stoic man enjoys what life has to offer but does so mindfully, always aware of the fine line between enjoyment and excess. He understands that unchecked pleasure often leads to dissatisfaction, as the constant craving for more undermines contentment. By practicing moderation, he cultivates an attitude of non-attachment. He can partake in life's pleasures without being controlled by them. This non-attachment allows him to remain centered and composed, even in the face of temptation or excess. In relationships, this balanced approach to pleasure is crucial. The Stoic man does not seek fulfillment solely through external sources, including romantic partners. He values emotional and physical intimacy, but does not allow these experiences to define his identity or happiness. By maintaining this inner balance, he ensures that his relationships are built on mutual respect and shared values rather than on fleeting desires. This approach fosters deeper, more enduring connections, where both partners retain their individuality while growing together. Moreover, the Stoic man's restraint in pursuing pleasure reflects his commitment to a life of virtue. He does not measure success by the quantity of pleasurable experiences, but by the quality of his character. To him, pleasure is an accessory to life, not its purpose. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, aptly stated, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The Stoic man takes this wisdom to heart, choosing a path of thoughtful engagement with life's pleasures, where desire is tempered by reason and excess is avoided. Ultimately, the Stoic man approaches pleasure with a disciplined mind and a discerning heart. He finds joy not in indulgence but in balance, knowing that true contentment comes from living in accordance with his principles. By mastering his desires and remaining true to his values, he experiences a deeper, more lasting form of happiness, one that is rooted in self-control, purpose, and inner peace. Through this approach, he not only preserves his dignity but also exemplifies the Stoic ideal of a life well lived, a life guided by wisdom, moderation, and unwavering commitment to personal growth. 8. His love. In Stoicism, love is approached with a profound sense of balance, neither dismissed as a trivial emotion nor embraced as a consuming force. A Stoic man understands that love, while deeply meaningful, must be guided by reason, not mere passion. He does not allow love to overpower his sense of self or compromise his principles. To him, love is not about losing oneself in another but about fostering a relationship built on mutual respect, dignity, and rational understanding. This perspective enables him to experience love deeply while still maintaining his independence and emotional stability. The Stoic man views love as a virtuous bond, one that should elevate, not diminish, the individuals involved. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Love the hand that fate deals you, for it is the instrument of your growth." Applying this wisdom, the Stoic man approaches romantic relationships as opportunities for growth, not as dependencies. He loves freely but without attachment, knowing that true affection is not about possession but about supporting the other person's freedom and individuality. This does not mean he lacks passion or devotion, but rather that his love is grounded in a commitment to virtue and mutual betterment. Furthermore, the Stoic man does not seek validation or fulfillment solely through love. He knows that while relationships can enhance life, they should not define one's purpose or happiness. By cultivating inner contentment, he ensures that his love is offered freely, without expectation or neediness. This self-sufficiency allows him to give and receive love without fear of loss or rejection, as his sense of worth is anchored within, not dependent on external affirmation. The Stoic man's love is expressed through action rather than mere words. He demonstrates his affection by being present, reliable, and supportive. He values consistency over grand gestures, understanding that true love is shown in the quiet moments of care and consideration. While he may not always articulate his emotions openly, his partner feels his love in the way he acts, with respect, kindness, and unwavering loyalty. This quiet strength creates a foundation of trust and stability in his relationships, reflecting the Stoic ideal of living a life marked by virtue. Importantly, the Stoic man does not allow love to blind him to reality. He remains aware of the impermanence of all things, including relationships, and approaches love with this understanding. This does not make him cold or detached but ensures that he loves without fear of loss. He cherishes the present moment, knowing that nothing in life is guaranteed. By embracing this mindset, he is able to love fully without clinging or desperation, which fosters healthier, more balanced connections. Ultimately, the Stoic man's approach to love is a harmonious blend of reason, affection, and virtue. He does not withhold his love, nor does he allow it to consume him. He offers it thoughtfully and freely, without losing himself in the process. By maintaining his independence and adhering to his principles, he ensures that his love enriches his life and the lives of those he cares for. In doing so, he embodies the Stoic ideal of living with purpose, integrity, and a heart guided by wisdom. Through this deliberate and balanced approach to love, the Stoic man finds not only deeper fulfillment in his relationships, but also greater peace within himself. Conclusion: to hide one's weaknesses, mistakes, dreams, feelings, secrets, pains, pleasures, and love from the world, especially from those closest to us, might seem counterintuitive at first glance. Yet, as the Stoic philosophy teaches, this discretion is not about deception or emotional isolation. It is about cultivating inner strength, wisdom, and a life governed by reason rather than fleeting emotions or external approval. A Stoic man, by choosing to guard these aspects of himself, reveals something far more profound: his commitment to self-mastery and the pursuit of virtue. Living according to Stoic principles does not mean abandoning relationships or withdrawing from the world. On the contrary, it means engaging with life and others from a place of inner stability, where one's sense of self is not dependent on external circumstances. A Stoic man seeks not to dominate or control others, but to lead by example, demonstrating through his actions the power of a disciplined, thoughtful, and purpose-driven life. He remains honest, loyal, and kind, but he also knows when to remain silent and when to act with measured restraint. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to life is one of balance. It encourages men to live authentically while safeguarding their inner world from unnecessary exposure. By doing so, they create space for personal growth, deeper relationships, and a life of lasting meaning. This way of life is not easy, nor is it always popular, but it offers a profound reward, true peace of mind, and a sense of fulfillment that external achievements alone can never provide. It is a path for those who seek to rise above life's chaos and live in accordance with higher principles. If you found value in these Stoic insights and wish to continue your journey toward personal mastery and inner peace, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here, you'll discover more wisdom from ancient Stoic philosophy, practical strategies for daily life, and inspiring content that will guide you in becoming the best version of yourself. Join us in this timeless quest for strength, clarity, and virtue, because the path to true happiness begins within. Thank you for watching, and remember, the only thing you truly need to conquer is yourself.